Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Countdown. We just got finished watching WrestleMania 30.
On the Dirty Network.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my goodness. That was quite the WrestleMania.
We didn't have too much lag. In the
There
pre-show
was-
we did.
The pre-show there was some audio
bad
issues.
Audio and lag.
And then throughout the show, there were a couple spots where it, went back 5 seconds.
Oh,
It,
yeah.
kind of cut back. But Network ran pretty smoothly.
A lot better than I expected it to.
So, WrestleMania 30. First off, the arena looked really nice.
Oh.
It was a nice stage.
It was amazing.
We started off with the pre-show match. The Usos defeated the Los Matadores, Real Americans, and Ryback to retain their WWE Tag Team titles, which was apparently an elimination match, which I didn't know. It was a good starting match though. It definitely wasn't bad. It was good.
Should have just been on the show itself.
Yeah, but there wasn't any build for it, and I think it was a good kickoff. I mean, it was a good match.
Yeah, that's true.
There's not really much to say about it. There's some cool stuff. Real Americans, I guess they're broken up now.
Yeah.
We'll get into that a little bit later because something happened that I didn't expect, but this was a good match, definitely. We'll start off with the first match on the actual WrestleMania card, and that was Daniel Bryan defeating Triple H to get into the World Heavyweight title match. Probably the best match. Probably the best match on the card. One of the, probably.
Yeah.
It was 25 minutes apparently, and it was a really solid match, really old school. I kind of like that style. A lot of submissions, a little back and forth.
No, they did a great job.
And it wasn't just Daniel Bryan carrying. I mean, it was equal effort.
No,
Both
Triple H
these guys
did do a good job. Triple H, they both held their own in the match.
Definitely a good match. I kind of wanted to see Triple H win.
Well, what I was hoping, I think we mentioned during our thing, was we were hoping Triple H was going to win, and then maybe Vince was going to come out and declare Daniel Bryan into the main event and make it a fatal four-way match.
I thought it would have been like a double count-out. That's what I thought was going to happen. You know what I mean?
I think it would have been cool to see that kind of happen. I think it would have brought a little more mystery. Because if Triple H is in the main event, people would be like, oh, maybe Triple H will win because Triple H has got this ego and obviously loves being champion. So I think that would have...
But Triple H, let Daniel Bryan win, and Daniel Bryan, it was a good match.
I don't think he let Daniel Bryan. I mean, you know what I mean.
I think he might argue that the ref counted only 2, But yeah, that was a really good match. The next up, we had the Shield defeating the Kane and the New Age Outlaws in a 3-minute match.
And the unfortunate thing, I blinked. I missed the whole
thing. It was a pretty long blink for you, but I saw you. Blink. You're like, wow, Lucas, I just gotta really hold this blink. You open your eyes like, wait, what just happened? I mean, it was fast paced. No one ever really got on like the.
It was like 1-on-1. It was like.
Just everyone.
It was 1-on-1. Then all of a sudden, everyone kind of ran in together. They were doing flips.
There was some cool stuff, but it just was too quick to even mean anything. Like, what was the point of it even being on the card?
It was like, you know how you have a 20-minute match. The first 15 minutes are just kind of, one-on-one, and it's the build-up, and the last 5 minutes just is crazy. Like everyone's running in. They just kind of skipped that first 15, used the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So they just made it from 5 minutes to 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that's life. What are you gonna do?
That's
Next up was the Andre the Giant Memorial 30-man Battle Royal.
Oh, actually, go back to the Shield match. And you even made a perfect point when they were all standing out there. DX was standing on the outside with Kane. Lucas is like, oh, Shield's breaking up right now. Because Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins were a little bit ahead of Roman Reigns. It looked like they could have just turned around and
oh, yeah, because Billy Gunn was like, yeah, but it didn't happen, so
that would have been perfect. That would have been good.
Well, we'll have to see what happens,
That's true. No, we'll see.
All right, so like I said, Cesaro won the Andre the Giant Memorial 30-man Battle Royale.
Didn't know he was in it.
Yeah, I thought he wasn't in it because I'm pretty sure Curtis Axel and Ryback were supposed to be in it, but they got pulled from it because they were in the tag team titles match. So I guess Cesaro was given the okay, yeah, the good to go, okay, you can be in both.
He's got the exception, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's not fair though. But it was pretty bad. It was it's a battle royal.
Some cool little
Kofi Kingston
spots that you could see when there's a ton of people, but it's hard to kind of notice them because it was just a cluster.
The thing is, these battle royals shouldn't be on a pay-per-view. They never should.
No, they're just too messy.
Exactly. The Kofi Kingston spot where he got hit over the ropes and kept his feet on the steel steps was really cool.
Even though he was supposed to probably just land on the steps.
I don't know. Yeah, you don't know. It was, yeah. I mean, I looked at a site which I won't name that gave this match an A just because Cesaro won. That is a horrible reason to give a match
Cesaro won. That WWE's finally listening to the fans.
That's stupid. It's good that Cesaro won. He's a good wrestler. I kind of wanted Big Show to win. I think it could have. I know Big Show's already old. He didn't necessarily need it, but I felt like whenever people compare Andre the Giant, they think Big Show.
Well, that's what even Big Show even said.
Yeah.
That's why it seemed like it was kind of just fitting to have Big Show win.
Yeah, but It was a good match. It's a shame Christian wasn't in there.
Just,
even though
I don't know. I think it's cool that they're doing tribute to Andre the Giant. I really hope this isn't an annual thing. I think they want to make it an annual thing.
I wouldn't.
I think it's poor. I think it just puts everyone that could be in rivalries and they have single matches and defending titles just in there.
I mean, yeah. Next up was John Cena. He defeated Bray Wyatt. This match was okay. I felt like it was 23 minutes, and I felt like it was kind of long, drawn out, a little boring.
It was 5 minutes a little too long, I think. I liked the match. I did spend some time looking at the computer, kind of looking at the tweets and see what people were saying instead of watching the match. But I thought the story of it was good, which was Bray Wyatt trying to get John Cena to hit him with a chair or, kind of be more violent. And I don't think John Cena should have won. I think Bray Wyatt deserved the victory. Or the only way Cena should have won, which we tweeted with the count out, was that it should have been by him using the chair or doing something dirty, kind of like that. That's the only way he should have won.
Or lost, maybe, because he would have got disqualified, Corey.
Well, that's true. Well, if the ref didn't see it.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I thought it was kind of meh. I didn't think it was amazing. I thought it could have been a lot better, but...
I understand why Bray Wyatt lost.
what are you going to do? I mean, it was a good match, and it was long. You know what I mean? And it's Cena, so you got to keep that in mind. It's Cena. But I like Cena, so I'm not going to complain. And then next up... Brock Lesnar defeats The Undertaker in a 25-minute match to end the streak. Oh my God.
Yeah. The build-up to this match was just so awful. It was just like, Brock Lesnar's going to beat the streak. Undertaker beat him up. Then the week before WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar beats him up. They're like, well, this is it. He's got the streak. They're like, wow.
Our dad came down to watch this match because he was a huge fan of The Undertaker. And I remember watching it, and we knew, we're like, Undertaker's going to win. Brock Lesnar hits the third F5.
We're like, oh yeah.
No. And our dad was like, oh, man. And I'm like, Dad, why are you freaking out, Because Brock Lesnar hit the F5. I'm like, watch. 1, 2, 3. I'm like, wait.
I'm sorry? And we were both, Lucas and I were both just really tired. We were exhausted. We were almost falling asleep, and then all of a sudden,
not because. Well, yeah, I mean this.
Not because of the match.
Well, I mean, some of this WrestleMania did put us to sleep, but we're tired. We were wasted. We love you guys, but
once that 1, 2, 3, we're all right away, boom, wait, what? The announcers just didn't know. They didn't even.
And it took them 2 minutes to ring the bell.
Yeah, there's
which is a good reaction, but okay, well the match itself, what should have been better. It was good.
It was good.
But it wasn't as good as the past Undertaker matches have been.
But granted, I mean, he's older, he's weaker,
Yeah, well, I mean, that's life,
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, I felt like, I don't know, you could make the argument that Brock Lesnar is a part-timer, but Undertaker's a part-timer too, but I guess, just with the build-up, I don't think Lesnar should have beat the streak. It didn't seem special. It didn't seem like...
it felt totally out of place, because nobody expected it. But I work where I work. There's one other guy that likes wrestling. And when we were talking about the streak and WrestleMania, I said it should have been somebody that they want to put over. So I mentioned how Lucas thought John Cena was the only one that could beat the streak, and I was like, it has got to be someone young, new that they really want to put over. That's gonna put him over huge. And I was saying Roman Reigns, because I know they want him to be the next John Cena. They really want to make this guy the next face of the company. Even Bray Wyatt would have been good, but.
What are you gonna do?
I mean, that's it. And also, I was reading about how Sting might debut tonight or tomorrow, because they want to have Sting versus the Undertaker. But what's the
Well, I guess now they make Undertaker look vulnerable, so he can lose again at WrestleMania if they did Sting versus Undertaker.
I guess so, but I figured maybe he's retired now. I don't know. It just didn't make any sense. The people's reaction were amazing though. People had.
Well, I mean, everyone was just like. It pretty much even though they started to liven up near the end, they never hit their high again. The crowd they died down a lot.
Yeah.
Even during the main event, even when a certain someone won, they were excited. They weren't as excited though.
That might have ruined the whole rest of WrestleMania.
People were freaking out. In my personal opinion, I don't know what to think because part of me is that was a shock. No one saw it coming. This sets up a lot of opportunities for a lot of things that might happen. But then on the other side. I mean, this is a huge thing that's been going on for so long, and if you end it...
Lesnar's just a part-timer.
I don't even care about the part-timer. I mean, you ended the streak, and it didn't feel like it mattered. And even at the aftermath, everyone was cheering. They gave time for Undertaker to, kind of struggle to get up and walk away. I feel like they could have made it more special. It should have been the main event of WrestleMania, Undertaker losing the streak. It should have been. That's how I felt. But yeah, I mean, that was definitely the most shocking moment. I mean, I don't know what to think. And when we heard the 3 count, I mean, Lesnar and like Heyman were just like staring at each other, like, oh my god, and that was the best reaction.
Oh, Heyman did. Oh no, Heyman did have a great reaction to it. He just got it. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
Lesnar's like, whatever.
Next up was the Divas 14 Diva match. It was a Divas match. I think that's all we can say. AJ's still the champion. It wasn't anything special. It was way too many Divas, and they just did some stuff, and they did some...
I'm surprised they keep the title on...
Well, who's she going to lose it to?
I guess so, yeah.
She can lose it to Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
There you go, okay. So yeah, that happened. Then finally we had Daniel Bryan winning the WWE Championship by defeating Randy Orton and Batista. There was no promo video for this match, which really shocked me. Oh, and one thing I want to say, though, about WrestleMania, Pyro sucked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The opening pyro was just boom, 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 and that was it.
And then the entrances sucked, too.
Someone vined it.
Yeah, someone...
And the whole beginning pyro. Like, it was like, what's going on?
And the entrances were really bad, too. Like,
there's nothing real...
Triple H's entrance was really weird. Like, it looked kind of goofy. Like, I feel like I remember he dressed up against John Cena, I think, as, like, the king.
Yeah.
And that looked cool, but this one just kind of looked goofy.
Yeah.
John Cena didn't do anything special, which was kind of odd. Bray Wyatt's was weird. It had, like, some woman dancing, and then it had someone singing, which was okay, but it felt kind of out of character to have someone singing for him.
I said that before.
I think, yeah. Randy Orton's, who sings this song?
Rev Theory.
They didn't sound good.
No, I like Rev Theory.
They sounded really bad.
He sounded terrible.
Yeah.
It's just,
And Daniel Bryan didn't have any special entrance. And Batista, like, he didn't have any pyro go off, and, like, the screen all of a sudden just went, like, black.
And, yeah, all the lights behind him just went black.
And it was, like, it just kind of happened. I don't know. But, yeah, the match was...
Yeah. Why did they didn't have any big entrances?
It was weird.
I'm thinking about that
Undertaker's was cool with, like, the showing all the caskets. But even that I felt could have been better. They've had better Undertaker.
I thought he was going to come out of Brock Lesnar's one, but...
What are you gonna
just,
do?
But yeah, no.
The world title match was good. It was good. It wasn't phenomenal. It wasn't like a WrestleMania main event in my opinion, but it was good.
I don't think they've had a lot of WrestleMania.
Yeah, there was a really cool moment where like Batista did a Batista bomb through the table, but Randy Orton grabbed onto Bryan and did like a reverse RKO, and that was pretty nasty because like Orton landed right on like a monitor and like his back was busted. It was a good match. There were some good moments. You know, as much as I sometimes get annoyed by Bryan winning was the right choice.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
I don't know who he's going to feud with now. That's the problem, though. I don't know where that takes him. Like, maybe Orton and Batista for a month or two, but then who?
Well, Batista's going to be leaving to promote...
So Batista will probably...
2 months.
Batista will probably feud with him for a little bit, but then, like, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, he could feud with him.
It was a good match. It was a nice ending, but even the crowd, even though they're doing the yes, it was a lot less than they were doing at the beginning. And I you know what? I tweeted this. I was like, how much longer is this Daniel Bryan thing going to last? Now that he won the title, it's going to go down. No doubt.
Well, when he... See, I was thinking that, yes, I was real excited because I was thinking, man, this is going to be a huge WrestleMania moment. It's going to be, this big WrestleMania moment, just like, with anyone winning the world title at WrestleMania. Any person that wins it for the first time. Because when you turn on Bray Wyatt in the steel cage, we got in there. It was this huge event, and that's when I started watching Raw again. I was like, wow, this is just awesome. And then seeing it again here, it just didn't feel like the crowd was as into it. I'm not sure if it's because now Dan Bryan's won, it's not as awesome anymore. Now they're like, oh, whatever.
They don't. Yeah, he's not an underdog anymore.
Or it was just the streak ended and it just literally killed everybody, and nobody cared anymore.
That's how I felt. I mean, overall, though, this WrestleMania was a letdown. I think I knew going into it the build was really bad. I didn't think it would be as good.
It was the fact that they didn't know what they were doing. They still didn't have plans for a lot of things.
Corey, what grade would you give this WrestleMania?
I don't know. Some of it I thought was really good.
I'd give like a C+ or a B-.
I think a C+, B- is a very fair grade.
Because, I mean, I'm trying to think, like, real quick. I mean, the kickoff match was good. It was good. Daniel Bryan Triple H was good. Shield and New Age Outlaws, well, that happened.
Yeah.
The Andre the Giant Memorial was bad. Cena Wyatt was okay. Lesnar and Undertaker was good. The main event was good, and the Divas match wasn't. Yeah, C+. C+.
See, but when you look at it, matches are good that, think it would be a B, but
They weren't
It didn't
anything
feel like
outstanding.
but see, the thing, yeah, I didn't. I was telling Lucas, and he was saying, "Oh, no special matches need to be there," and not necessarily true. There doesn't necessarily be a special match because there was a special match at WrestleMania 20.
He means stipulation matches with stipulations
yeah.
like no disqualification,
but
ladder.
WrestleMania 20 was one of my favorite WrestleManias, but there never was a moment. There was a lot of moments that didn't feel like WrestleMania. I think it really. It was. I think it was because of the build. I think the build killed this WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I think WrestleMania killed WrestleMania with this whole, that there's no spectacular entrances. There's nothing that really.
I'm curious if people are going to start turning. I mean, even though Bryan won the title, I mean, that was bad. Like, I mean, C+, I mean, that's slightly above average, but, I mean, the C+ isn't horrible, but I mean, like, that was just, it's a letdown. That was honestly a letdown. I feel like Elimination Chamber was better than that. I feel like the past TNA pay-per-views have been way better than that. We did a review of Lockdown. What did we give Lockdown? Like an A-, B+?
Yeah. Oh,
Lockdown was a million times better than this. And the attendance was so much lower. It wasn't as much of a spectacle. I mean, such a lower scale. But it was so much better. Because the build was better. The matches were better.
Yeah.
And, there was some weird stuff. Yeah, there was some bad stuff. But they made up for it with, like... They just made up for it, and I think that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, overall, if I would have paid $70 for this on cable, I would have been so pissed.
Oh, I'm so
We watched
glad.
it on the network. I mean, even then, it was just like, ugh. Just, wasn't, I don't know, I haven't seen every WrestleMania. I don't know if this is the worst WrestleMania. It probably isn't the worst WrestleMania, but... Definitely not the best WrestleMania. Definitely not the best WWE pay-per-view. Definitely not the worst WWE pay-per-view, but definitely not what it should have been.
It's not going to be something that's going to be remembered.
No. And for the 30th anniversary,
remembered is going to be
Undertaker streak.
And yeah, exactly. For 30th anniversary, there's
and maybe Bryan winning the title, depending on where Bryan goes. If Bryan just dies out and loses the title in 3 months, then it's not going to be remembered. It's just going to be a fad. I mean, we'll have to see, though.
It's just... It's a bummer because it was the 30th WrestleMania, and this should have been...
Should have been a Madison Square Garden, like we said.
This should have been one of the biggest events. This should have been one of those things. Like, WrestleMania 1 is still talked about. I still love WrestleMania 20. I think WrestleMania 20 was one of the greatest WrestleManias ever.
WrestleMania 17,
And this one just...
Hey, keep in mind, like, WrestleMania 17, WrestleMania 18, WrestleMania 19, those are still talked about. WrestleMania 21, that was when John Cena and Batista became huge stars.
Money in the Bank debuted.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 22 in Chicago, Rey Mysterio wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Hardcore match, Edge and Mick Foley.
Yeah, it's just like all this stuff. And I don't know if WrestleMania 30 will be remembered for anything except the streak ending. And even then, that just feels like it shouldn't have happened. But you know what they say, that's life. So please leave a comment down below. Tweet us. Just tell us what you think about this WrestleMania, because I'm seeing a lot of mixed reactions on Twitter right now. As I'm looking at Twitter right now. Yeah. A lot of mixed reactions.
But yeah, so we will see you guys later. Rock and roll.
Yeah.